So the Department for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs is standing firm to their pledge to bring about a ban on the use of electronic training collars for dogs on the grounds that they cause harm and suffering, they can be misused, they are unnecessary in this modern age. We should be able to change the behaviour of dogs effectively through the use of reward-based incentives alone, exclusively, and that science has proven this, despite the fact that multiple scientific studies have repeatedly shown that the use of electronic training collars for predatory behaviour in dogs, so for dogs attacking other animals, predating towards other animals, is incredibly successful, lasts for an incredibly long time, and carries incredibly little risk towards the dog and certainly towards the animal that the dog would otherwise have attacked. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to show you a clear contradiction in the way that animal welfare is thought about and is presented and understood in England. So the use of electronic pulse to stop a dog from causing damage to another species is barbaric, inhumane and unnecessary. There are alternatives. And then on the 6th of September, we see The Guardian puts out an article, electric fences are found to protect beach nesting birds from dog walkers. Okay, not just dogs, but dog walkers as well. And it's been hailed a success after a strong breeding season and the return of flora. Okay, so flowers and fauna has come back to the dunes, as well as the protection of the ground nesting birds. And there's been a reduction in trampling, okay? Electric fences, or erecting electric fences to stop off-lead dogs from disturbing nest sites, including terns and oyster catchers, has been hailed a success. Since the sensitive areas were roped off with electric fencing, the breeding season has been a success. The BBC Springwatch presenter Chris Packham has hailed the scheme, saying the measures had resulted in a bumper year for embryo June birds. That's fantastic, isn't it? You know, we have seen an increase in June birds there in, I think it's in Home next to the sea in Norfolk, in the dunes, which is great. What you have to look at is the way that that has been achieved by the erection of an electronic fence. Now, this fence doesn't think. This fence doesn't care. All this fence does is what this fence was designed to do, and that is to deliver high-level electronic stimulation, electric shock, if you want to anything or anyone that comes into contact with it. Okay, it's indiscriminate. It doesn't care. It will deliver that stimulation to whoever or whatever comes into contact with it. There's no training for the animal. The animal can't avoid through understanding as a result of having been trained that stimulation. It can't avoid the stimulation. It is simply a case of touch it and experience. Touch it again, experience again. It's literally you into the fire. Jump into the fire, get burnt, keep away from the fire. And this is considered to be a success. It's held a success. And it is a success. And I'm glad that it's a success. It's right that it's a success. What is wrong is that the use of exactly the same stimulation, but at a far lower degree, that is under human control, that is under the judgment, the compassion of a person who is able to determine context based on individuality, based on individual temperament, individual need, the goals, based on environmental impact factors, based on necessity, based on proportionality. All of that judgment is able to come together to form a very, very well thought out, safe training program for a dog to be able to learn a desired outcome in a controlled manner that basically best affects the species itself, the dog itself, and the other animal that the dog would represent a threat towards. That is considered to be wrong. That is considered to be bad, barbaric, inhumane, unnecessary in this modern age. But stick an electric fence up and let it crack whoever or whatever it does. And it will, and it has, and it's worked, and it's hailed a success. Welcome to English animal welfare logic.